Hello, how you doing? It's MrDoTheMath here, and now we're going to talk about solving inequalities, right? Solving inequalities are a lot like solving linear equations. The only difference is like sometimes the inequality sign changes directions. That's the only difference. Therefore, I am going to really just like graze over like the beginning of solving inequalities because it's so similar and get to the meat, the challenge, the change, right? So let's just warm up, right? Solving inequalities. Here we go. B, it looks like a D to me. B minus 2 is greater than negative 9, right? B minus 2 is greater than, make sure you can see it. All right, here we go. B minus 2 is greater than negative 9, all right? What we'll do is, look, we're going to solve it and then we're going to graph it, right? Because we talked about graphing in the previous video, all right? So first things first, like, is you think about it like this. So if I want to move this 2 over here, I isolate the B, I have to do the inverse operation. So it's opposite, right, inverse. This cancels, so then I have B is greater than whatever negative 9 plus 2 is. You subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. Same sign, different sign, subtract. Subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number, then your B exact. So now, our solution is B is greater than negative 7, right? Because B is greater than negative 7, that means that the greater than means it's an open circle. Greater than negative 7 means that at negative 7, all of these solutions will be every number bigger than it, right? So that's negative 6, negative 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, good. So now we've graphed it, okay? Let's look at another one. Let's look at one where we have to like subtract both sides, okay? Here we go. So we got M plus 3 is less than or equal to 5, all right? Again, the same thing. We got to figure out what is going to make this 5, all right? Mathematically, if you move it over, you got to do the inverse operation. Subtract 3 to both sides, right? So that cancels. Sign stays in the same direction. 5 minus 3 is 2, right? So M is less than or equal to 2. So to graph it, this means closed circle because the equal sign is included. Less than means that it's going to be every number to included and every number smaller than. So that's how we graph it, okay? That's what the graph will look like. You go with me? All right, now let's look at how division and multiplication work. So if I have a situation where it's like n over 7 is greater than or equal to negative 1. All right, it's the same thing as if this was an equal sign. So the inverse operation to division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply 7 on both sides. Alright, so that becomes 1. N is greater than or equal to negative 7. Okay? Let's graph it. Greater than or equal to, closed circle, negative 7, everything bigger than 7. Right? So that's negative 6, 5. That's like the last problem we did. Well, the first one, right? Okay? We good so far? Alright, we just getting after it. Let's get after it. Alright. Let's go a step further. What if I did this? No. What if I did this? 4b is greater than or equal to 36. Alright, here is multiplication, so the inverse would be division. Division. So it's going to be b is greater than or equal to 36 and 4, 9. Okay? B is greater than or equal to 9. Because of this equal sign, is it an open circle or closed circle? Closed circle. Closed circle. And am I going to the left or to the right? Greater than. Sometimes, for most of the time, the rule of thumb is this direction. The direction of this arrow is going to be the direction of that arrow. Okay? So don't ignore that. Especially only when the variable is on the left side of the inequality sign. You feel me? Okay. Now, rule. Here is the rule. Here is the rule. I'm going to write it down. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality changes directions. Right? That's it. All right, so that's the biggest change. That's one of the main differences of solving equations versus solving inequalities. When you divide or multiply by that negative, that's what happens. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna keep this definition in the screen as I work this next problem out. Okay. So check it out. If I got y divided by -3 is greater than 2. All right. Again, we're solving again. This is division. So the inverse would be multiplying. So I multiply both sides by -3. Right? I multiply both sides by -3. So then y is going to be, I multiply by -3. So the inequality changes directions. Okay? So it's going to be where it was greater than, now it's less than. Y is less than -6. That is your new graph, right? And so when you graph it again, open circle, less than, pop, opposite direction, -6. Okay? Cool. All right. Let's look at this one. Next example. -7b, right? It's greater than, equal to -35. All right. Again, this is negative. So what's multiplication? The inverse is division. You have to divide by not 7, but -7. So you're going to divide both sides by -7. Because you divided by this negative sign, this direction changes. So where it was greater than equal to is less than equal to. So this cancels, not cancels, it becomes 1. So b is now less than or equal to, negative divided by negative equals a positive. So it's going to be +5. Okay? Graph it. Close circle and the direction of the arrow, right? Pop. All right. That's pretty much it, right? So now you try. I'll give you one. All right, what if I say, last one. -4x is greater than equal to 40, right? All right, pause the screen, pause the camera, pause the video, and work this out. And graph it. All right, let's go. So, you got, again, this is a negative, so you got to divide both sides by -4 by -4. Since you divided by the negative sign, changes directions. Did you change the direction of your inequality? Good, if you did. All right, 40 divided by -4 gives us a -10. All right, so x is less than or equal to -10. Let's graph it. Close circle. Did you close your circle? Good. This is -10. Everything less than. Okay, so that's pretty much it when we're solving inequalities. This is like an example of one-step inequality. So we're solving inequalities and we're graphing it, right? Make sure that you remember greater than or equal to is a closed circle. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to is a closed circle, I'm sorry. And greater than or equal to, here we go, I'm gonna say it again, I'm sorry. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, closed circle, right? Less than, greater than, open circle, right? Open circle. Remember that, all right? So, that's that for today, right? If you have any more questions, don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. MrDoTheMath out.